KJA Global Channel. The Political System and Me. Series 1, The Political Wake Up. Episode 03, The Three Systems, Dictatorship, Fragile Democracy, Federal Democracy. There are days when a nation feels like a home, imperfect, sometimes noisy, sometimes crowded, but held together by a shared sense that life can be improved, that dignity is possible, that tomorrow can be better than today. And there are days when a nation feels like a cage. Most people describe their suffering in personal language. I am tired. I am afraid. I cannot afford it. My child cannot learn. We don't have medicine. I don't trust anyone. They speak about problems as if they are separate storms passing through separate lives. A political system is a daily environment. This is where our question begins. Before this becomes an institutional question, it becomes a human experience. Compare dictatorship, fragile democracy, and federal democracy using decision, restraint, participation, minority protection, and remedy tests. It is not only a theory of governance. It is the air people breathe. If the air is clean, you live without noticing it. If the air is poisoned, you cough even while sleeping. This episode is about the three dominant political environments that shape modern societies: dictatorship, fragile democracy, and federal democracy. Not as textbook labels, but as lived worlds. Worlds that determine whether people stand upright or bow. Worlds that determine whether truth is safe or dangerous. Worlds that determine whether a nation's talent becomes prosperity or exile. To understand these three systems, do not begin with ideology. Begin with a simple question: what kind of life does this system produce for ordinary human beings? The system reveal is system concentration versus restraint/distribution. Political labels are not proof. Systems must be judged by how power is obtained, distributed, restrained, challenged, and corrected in ordinary life. Political labels are not proof. Systems must be judged by how power is obtained, distributed, restrained, challenged, and corrected in ordinary life. In plain language, the hidden mechanism is system concentration compared with restraint, distribution. Three environments shape daily life. Dictatorship, law replaced by fear. Fragile democracy, rights promised but unprotected. And federal democracy, dignity built into structure. Systems are proven by what they produce in ordinary lives, not by their speeches or symbols. It is the replacement of law with the personal will of power. You are safe only if power allows you to be safe. Public money is not a public trust, it is a reward system for loyalty. Corruption as a system, not a crime. When a system trains the people to expect humiliation, the people stop demanding justice. They adapt. They survive. They shrink. Dictatorship does not only imprison bodies. It compresses souls. Fragile democracy is the most confusing system, because it carries the language of freedom but lacks the structure of freedom. It offers elections but not integrity. It offers constitutions but not enforcement. It offers rights on paper but not protection in reality. Power is shared, limited, accountable, and closer to the people. Your dignity is protected by design. Federal democracy is a system where the political architecture is built to prevent domination by one person, one party, one army, one ethnicity, one region, or one ideology. Not because life is perfect, no nation is perfect, but because systems are built to correct mistakes and punish abuses. The analytical center of this episode is the governance chain. Constitutional rule, institution, policy, budget and capacity, official action, human experience, review and correction. Each arrow asks a different accountability question: who authorized the decision, who had the duty to act, what record should exist, and what institution can correct failure? A broken outcome may begin far upstream. The visible harm can come from an unjust rule, an unfunded institution, a hidden record, a captured oversight body, or a remedy that exists only on paper. The chain prevents us from reducing a system failure to one personality. It identifies the point where law, capacity, evidence, oversight, or enforcement stopped working. When citizens and professionals can locate that break, criticism becomes more accurate and reform becomes more practical. For this episode, the principal mechanism is system concentration versus restraint/distribution. The production graphic must make every link readable on a phone screen and must label country-specific or proposed arrangements honestly. Under dictatorship, three systems is shaped primarily by concentrated command, information is restricted, institutions answer upward, and challenge may carry personal risk. In a fragile democracy, formal rules may exist while patronage, unequal capacity, corruption, politicization, or weak enforcement makes protection inconsistent. In a functioning federal democracy, authority is constitutionally distributed, common rights remain enforceable, and more than one institution can question, review, or correct harmful power. Comparison is a method of judgment, not a slogan or ranking exercise. The viewer should compare who decides, how authority was obtained, whether records are public, whether affected people participate, and whether constitutional dispute resolution and intergovernmental cooperation is available in practice. The democratic design must survive weak leaders, political disagreement, and changes of government. The minimum guardrails are 1. Clear allocation of powers. 2. Adequate and transparent fiscal arrangements. 3. Democratic institutions at every level. 4. Minority and minority within minority protection. 5. Constitutional dispute resolution and intergovernmental cooperation. These safeguards work as a system. A published rule without an independent reviewer can become theater, oversight without records cannot see, participation without safety can expose people, and a remedy without enforcement does not repair the harm. Global relevance. The institutional test for three systems applies across political labels: who decides, what limits power, what information is public, who participates, and whether a real correction or remedy exists. Myanmar relevance. Apply the lesson on three systems without treating one organization, community, or proposed arrangement as the whole country. Separate existing law and institutions from interim or aspirational designs. Here is the civic practice for this episode. See and ask. Apply the three-question daily life test to your society. Can I speak truth without fear? If wronged, can I get justice? Do my children inherit hope or fear? Verify. Examine one constitution or authoritative institutional source for each comparison used. Act. Apply the 10 democratic tests to one system without labeling an entire population or treating a constitutional label as proof. Review. Record whether you can name the responsible institution, evidence, safeguard or remedy, and one safe next step. The measure of success is not visibility but whether the viewer can identify evidence, responsibility, a safeguard, and the safest next action. Your daily life is not only shaped by personal choices, it is shaped by the political environment you live inside. And environments can be changed. In the next chapter, we will confront the reason many people stay trapped in harmful systems even while suffering under them. They do not see the system clearly. They see symptoms, not structure. They blame individuals, not architecture. We will expose the mechanisms that keep societies blind: fear, propaganda, survival pressure, and the deliberate engineering of confusion, because the fight for freedom begins not in the streets, but in the mind. The principle to carry forward is this: political labels are not proof. Systems must be judged by how power is obtained, distributed, restrained, challenged, and corrected in ordinary life. Ask yourself, what part of the difference between dictatorship, fragile democracy, and federal democracy have I treated as normal even though it should be visible, answerable, and correctable? The system shapes our lives. Our participation shapes the system. Subscribe. Learn. Participate. Shape the future. KJA, knowledge justifies authority.